are the great wing shooting destinations of the world, steeped in tradition, offering the pinnacle of shotgun sport. Tour the planet with us.
Hi, I'm Chris Bartha. Welcome to West Texas, home of some of the finest pointing dogs in the USA and equally hard and fast flying quail.
Each segment of Texas has its own name, descriptive of the land. There's the piney woods, the brush country, the hill country, the playa, and then there's West Texas. Imagine the American West from any cinematic epic, and you're picturing West Texas. Canyonlands with mesquite and sagebrush. Cactus on country that's pancake flat. West Texas. This is the land once tamed with Colts and Winchesters. But today, if you look a little deeper, it's now the perfect place for those who fancy fine double guns in sub-gauges. Because this is quail country.
Got one.
A devotee of both birds and bird guns, Chris Bartha is in the town of Big Spring, about an hour east of Midland. An invitation from good friend Bradley Bates puts boots and bird dogs on the ground early on a cool morning in the wide open landscape of West Texas.
Bradley contacted me for gun fitting a couple of years back, and we were going to meet at the Dallas Gun Club, and I was going to shoot a little further up in Santa Fe, and he said, you'd be passing the front door, come and shoot quail with us. So West Texas is famous for it, and you get an invitation like this, you don't turn it down.
Also hunting on the trip is Carlos Gibson, who partners with Bradley Bates on their quail concession.
I've been waiting a year for this, so let's get going.
Let's do it.
Wow, that sun's bright today. So this, I've got to tell you, a big country, you need a good vehicle. These buggies are incredible, just like those old sand buggies from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. A lot of guys hunt off of the horseback with these big going dogs, but this country's flat enough that these have a real advantage. I can carry 6 dogs, water, my lunch, clothing,
lots of ammunition.
Okay. First run of the morning. Let's let a few out, Chris.
We're going to hunt that way? Into the woods?
Yeah. Help me out here.
Yeah.
She's eager and ready to go.
She got a collar on?
Yeah, that's a nail that
Nail,
you have
yeah.
there. This is Clem. Short for Clementine.
These dogs are in there fighting weight, don't they?
Oh,
You keep
yeah.
them lean and mean.
Chris, the dog you have, a little female, she's Nail. She's 3 years old now, and a fine little hunting dog, as you're about to see. And this is Clementine, and Clem is 5. You see right here, she's got bit by a rattlesnake this summer. That's healed up nicely, and she's good to go.
We'll cast them out. Here you go.
Yeah, guys, this is cat claw. Be careful when you're walking through it. It'll grab your pants and hold on to you and won't let go till you put it in reverse. That's one of the tougher ones out here. This is Agarita here, and it has thorns. And prickly pear over here. And, you guys know to keep your distance from it. So.
Fine gun for a fine quail shoot. This is a Famars Aviatico and Salvinelli from Italy, handmade gun, very fancy. All the trigger groups come out, all made from one piece of steel. It's a 16 bore, and like the old Parker advert, carries like a 20, hits like a 12.
It's gorgeous.
pretty appropriate gun for here, I thought. Compliment your fine dogs and fine quail shooting. One running in front of us there.
You see one?
Yeah, there's one dead right in front of those bushes.
Okay guys, that was the first point of the day. We made it maybe, what, 15 yards from the vehicles?
Well, you got to know that's the reason why I wanted to come back. Good girl.
Here. Okay, atta girl. All right.
Yeah, she's gone. Can't see the bird, she's on quite a distance. Do you ever get lost out here? I've got to tell you though, I don't care if we didn't find the covey. Look at that view, pretty spectacular.
West Texas has changed from the days of Lonesome Dove. It's now dotted by cotton fields and oil wells, and broken into defined ranches. But the old Texas adage about the country still holds true. What won't stick you will surely bite you.
Texas is a big country, and here in West Texas at Big Spring, this is gigantic, you know, just great rolling plains, the high, well, desert. We got cactus, we got like stunted growth trees, arroyos, dried up riverbeds, and the sunlight and just the sheer size of it, you know, it is a magnificent, just a gorgeous vistas and views.
Bradley Bates knows all about the oil business here. He is a petroleum engineer in Midland and has lived his life in this country.
I love it. I guess I've worked at it 30 years and have accumulated, enough wealth. Don't have much, but I've accumulated enough to get on some of these big leases out here and follow my passion, and I feel fortunate to be able to do so.
Besides the oil business, Brad's other passion is quail. Today, he and Carlos Gibson invite good friend Chris Batha on a real, wild bird Texas quail hunt.
Come here, Neil.
Complete with some of the best dogs the Lone Star State has to offer.
Ah, a sweetheart.
Well, one of the great things about coming out here, you know, is Bradley and Carlos are both enthusiastic dog breeders and dog owners. I mean, if you can compare it to a football string, these are all Super Bowl, champions. They're just the best, and if they don't make the string, they're chopped, and he goes out and he pays top dollar for a dog, that's capable of taking his place in the team. To work with these dogs is magnificent.
If it weren't for the dog work, I don't guess I'd be in this. It's my primary passion, is bringing on dogs, and I can tell you the genetics are so important to acquire good genetics, from national championship horseback type field trial dogs.
The quail's probably, I'd say, after pheasant in Europe and maybe partridges in Spain. Quail shooting, be it in Georgia or here in Texas, is one of my favourites. Combination of the dog work, the beautiful scenery, and the birds themselves, especially the wild ones. I reckon they're one of the most challenging upland bird shots of them all, especially a big covey rise. I don't care who you are.
Dead bird, dead in here. Yep, dead. All right, yeah, that's a girl. That's a girl. Blue quail.
The big thing with the blue quail is that they're random. You don't even know where they are. They're not where the dog's pointing. They could be behind the dog, in front of the dog. They could have run on a couple of 100 yards. There could be 10 get up, there could be 3 get up. After three's got up and you missed them because it took you by surprise, if you're not quick loading, another one will get you. So, you know, the blue quail are a challenge. One, fitness, and two, the quality of the dogs. And the dogs are top quality, but some of my shooting hasn't been up to their word. I don't know about snake boots, Bradley. You need running shoes with these blue quail. Hey!
You're becoming an opportunist as well, I notice.
How's it go? Opportunist, not a purist.
Clem, in here, here, here. That's a girl, that a girl. That. Little cockbird, Bob. We're doing about 50-50, I guess, on the blues and bobs so far. So. Yeah, this is a quail roost. They roost up on these tall hills with not much vegetation. That way, if a coyote or an owl chases them at night, they can disperse in a diverse area and keep the predators from finding them.
Well, sooner be here than in an office, that's for certain.
Let's go find them, guys. Yeah, come here, Dan.
Ask any real quail hunter.
There he is.
And you'll get the same response. It's all about the dog.
He's eager.
Imagine spending one day as a big running pointer. Dream of what it must feel like to be the ultimate athlete. To have the sensations of muscle and sinew and bone and blood, performing flawlessly the functions for which they've been bred for generations. Imagine the wind in your ears, the conquering of unforgiving ground under the calloused pads of your paws, then to be overwhelmed, entranced by the scent of quail. Mortal men will never know what it's like to be a bird dog, and perhaps that's what makes hunting over them so addicting.
The great thing about shooting with Bradley and Carlos is the quality of the dogs. You know, we're talking like Super Bowl, and they only buy the best. And working over these dogs, sometimes hunting a blue quail, which is totally different from a bobwhite, you might have to have 8 to 10 points, and these dogs are just incredibly steady. And in fact, they're all so good, you tend to take it for granted. And I'm just so lucky, you know, to get the invitation for us to come here. This is just like the best dog work, full stop, period.
I probably like the dog. The birds are just a necessary evil. We have to have birds to have the dog point. So, you know, it's something that's, when you bring it here, it's just something I like to see. It's something that's from my heart, because I put lots of hours into dogs to get them to point. And it's kind of a triumph. It's, you know, it's the game, and you got the top dog, or you got a dog that point, retrieves, and also field trial. And it's your pride, you know. Some guys like you know, automobiles, boats. I like dogs.
It's something that, as a casual viewer, may not see as the quality of habitat and dog work that we've seen today. Chris, let's go enjoy this
Shoot what bird?
experience here. Right under his nose.
What is it, a rat?
That's a bird, I'm pretty certain.
I would have shot it. I don't like to shoot that close
Yeah,
over the dogs. I can always get another quail.
But the good thing is to see a dog really, when he points, retrieves, and you know that someone has put a lot of time on that dog. A lot of them have a great bloodline. We have great bloodline, Brad and I both. And that's a lot of it. We deal with all the diseases. And you have a dog that you know is capable of going to nationals. You know? So it's it's just something we're very proud of, and I'm very proud of the dogs that we have.
Isn't that pretty?
That's gorgeous. That's
Come
as
on up,
pretty a dog
somebody.
work as you're going to see. That's front page of the Pointing Dog Journal.
Isn't that fun?
Dan! Terrific little dogs.
Texas quail. Just the phrase brings images of sagebrush, cactus, and long, long distances. When you're hunting with Bradley Bates near Big Spring, it also means acres of land, outstanding dogs, and big coveys of birds. Chris Batha is having one of those days. One of those days anyone would remember for a lifetime.
Can you take the right down?
He's the guest of two native Texans who know the meaning of a great day in the field.
You have to cover big distances and big country. No wonder this ranch we're hunting on is 14 sections, 14 square miles, and I feel like I've walked every inch of them because these birds are wild.
These are tough customers to hunt. I guess quail hunting is kind of like wine connoisseuring. It's an acquired taste, and to fully appreciate what we've seen today, I think you need to spend the years, good years and bad years, and understand good dog work and bad dog work.
The quality of the dog work, as good as I've ever seen anywhere, and then followed up by some of the most testing bird shooting or quail shooting. I don't think anything touches a wild Texas quail. You're right, you're right. Well shot. Looking for you. Nice, you knocked that one down, good shot.
Yeah, attaboy. Another blue, Chris. Good job.
Well, there's 4 or 5 of them there.
Good shooting. The prickly pear there. Here you go, Chris. Good shot.
Well, I don't know, I shouldn't have dropped it in there. I admire any sportsman who's prepared to go into a prickly pear to get a dead bird, that's real good sportsmanship.
Well, that's part of the responsibility of shooting these guys, and they'll end up in that prickly pear occasionally, and you just gotta tear the stuff apart till you get them.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Yeah, this right here, Chris, is doveweed, what we call Texas croton, and it's a very good quail food, a hard seed and high in protein, and you'll find a lot of this in the craws this year.
Yeah.
It's a good staple for West Texas birds.
For me, looking at this, scenery and walking through it, it looks so harsh, and yet even here there's abundant food. As you say, if you get the right moisture, you have the prickly pear fruit and, partridge pea or whatever you'd like to call it. People talk about wild birds and the speed they fly out and covey rises. Well, that was probably one of the best covey rises I've ever seen. They really burst. I think there was as many as 12 to 14 in the covey. They went left and right. There was a real bomb burst of birds, and I was lucky. I got a left and right, and that doesn't happen too many times down here in Texas.
This bird here has been eating the prickly pear tuna. See the purple staining on its feathers? Well, just about all of them are stained.
If you didn't know any better, if you didn't know the ground like you do, you'd think it was a different species of quail, the red-breasted bobwhite.
Nice.
I didn't expect the covey. I thought it'd be a single bird, so the rise took me by surprise. I just fired,
Yeah, we were out chasing singles. I was pretty certain that was a single as well. Good girl. Oh, that's fun.
Overall impression of the day, one of the best shoots of my life. I have to tell you that the combination of just the sheer size of this country, and even though it's very rugged, it is majestically beautiful. It's a buzz, it's what it's all about. It's hunting, and great dog work, great birds, and when you connect, it's a great feeling. What a great end to a day.